That's pie and mash up in London, bro.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
You've got a big fight coming up in Mexico.
Well, not as big as yours, I was just reading about.
Fantastic.
Obviously, I don't want to butcher the name, but José Nápoles, massive name, superstar of the sport, just like Canelo is, but you went in there and you got the job done.
Yeah, funny enough, a strange thing, in 1972, he came over to fight my stablemate, Ralph Charles, who was the British champion. And the amazing thing was, I sparred Napoles.
Oh yeah.
I went to the gym and sparred him up by King's Cross, and we had a good sparring session. And this is a funny thing, because I did 4 rounds with him, Napoles, and I was 22 at the time, obviously very young. And we'd done 3 rounds, and you know, it was okay. And then the 4th round, my manager Terry Lawless just said to me, like, when you do the next round, it's finished, just go out there and jab him, nothing else. He said, as if your hand's tied round your back, just jab him. And I said, why? He said, you just do it. So of course, you know, bang, moving around, and for me it's good because I am actually left-handed, and I fight orthodox, so it's
like Kevin Mitchell.
So I was doing that, and I was, you know, anyway, when we got in the car to drive back, I said to him, what was all that about? You know, why did you just want me to throw left hand? He said, well, you're left-handed. He said, I was seeing you early in the training, you was catching him. He said, so I think if you do ever fight him at any stage, whether it's next year, year after, whatever, he said, I think your left hand will be very, you know, will be good. And I think if you do see the fight later, obviously 3 years later, I do catch him good with the jab. So that was a big help.
Shots, wasn't it?
That was a big help, yeah.
Obviously, Mexico City, I think it's the highest altitude in Mexico. How was that for you?
Well, that was 7,500 feet above sea level. I believe where you are in Guadalajara, it's going to be about 5,500 feet. So it's a little bit less rarefied, but it's still, you know, difficult.
Of course.
Once you start your running out there, that's where you're going to get all your stamina from your breath and well, it will first of all. It's quite funny because when we was in the Olympics and we come off to the plane, and even to walk or run 50 yards
I bet,
like that,
of course.
So that does happen. But what I would do is when you are out there, try and go a little bit higher running. So you're going just above your norm, and then when you come down again,
it's that bit easier.
It's a lot easier, so that when you are level, even though it's 5,500 feet, it's like being back here. And I did a little bit each day. Going a little bit, to the very top.
Sensible,
And I think they got Rocky off me because when I got to the very, that's true, but my manager Terry Lawless, he was at the very top. And after a couple of weeks, I made it to the top and I started doing all that, exactly how Rocky did. So it was fantastic.
So that the fight in obviously a massive arena.
It holds about 50,000. I'm not sure how many was there, but it was quite a few thousand.
Probably 60.
Probably, probably about 40. It's actually the biggest bull ring in the world. The Plaza de Toros,
No balls in there that night, no?
No. When we went to the fight itself, they put me next to where the balls were.
Oh, really?
Oh, and the smell and everything.
I bet.
I think it was trying to stop me.
Just to offset you that little bit more,
Yeah,
it didn't work, did it?
No, it didn't work. We saw that fight, obviously, with Billy Joe. And I think you can learn a lot from that, being a southpaw as well.
I think Billy Joe had good success in that fight. If it weren't for the
he
eye
did
injury,
up till
he was doing well, weren't he?
Yeah, he did. He was doing good. And then he did he catch him? I think he caught him.
Caught him with an uppercut.
That's right, and the eye went a little bit, didn't it? Yeah. Well, you know what to do, don't you? You've got to watch all that.
So obviously, in the bull ring.
Oh God.
What was the atmosphere like during the ring walk?
It was quite hostile. They're looking for their own man all the time, which you'll get. There's no two ways about that. You will get that.
Yeah.
But it can be daunting. It can be a little bit frightening, if you like. But obviously, boxers don't get frightened like that. Very hostile. Mexicans are very hostile.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they are. But when Nápoles got in the ring, I actually clapped him.
Yeah.
Because he was an all-time great, obviously, and I sparred him and everything. So I was quite taken aback by being in the ring with him. I really was. Sometimes Saint comes in a ring.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that. When I put Nápoles down, they threw the cushions on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, put cushions into the ring. Yeah. If actually you see the fight, you just see a couple of cushions go across the ring at the bottom. Yeah. So that can happen.
But was they nicer on the way out of the ring? Was they?
I think they was respectful later, because they obviously, beating him, and I think I got a good round of applause later.
Yeah.
But you can see that they don't really want anyone to lose, but their fighters to lose. You can see that, and that's I think that happens with every country and that you go to.
Yeah. What was your reaction like in the first round when he put you over?
Oh, don't. It was a bit surreal, really, because I sort of went backwards, and then he followed up with a jab, and then they come off the ropes. And luckily, I was going back when he hit me, but then I sort of went over, and I thought, what happened there? I just didn't know whether he was quick or whatever it was. It really disturbed me, and so I sort of got up. I think I got up about 4 or 5. I wasn't hurt, but it was getting knocked down. Was the thing, you don't want to be knocked, as you know, you don't want to be knocked down. And then I got up, and then referee looked at me, and then he went box on. And then after that, I got into the corner. When I got into the corner, my manager said, what happened there? I said, I don't know, he just seemed to catch me. And then Mickey Duff was there. And Mickey Duff was going, oh no, not the first round. Typical Mickey Duff. But as I say, they can be very hostile.
So talking of surreal moments, what was when you actually got your hand raised in the ring?
Oh, in the ring,
in the ball ring. What was there more claps for you from the Mexican fans, or was it just?
This was a funny thing. When I got out of the ring, I've got my dressing gown on my back. I haven't got my arms in it. Because it's just around my back. And then, as I'm walking around, whoop, one of the Mexicans took the dressing gown off me and ran away. And then, and then all the lads were there, all having a good time in the hotel. And then they said, come, let's go to a nightclub. So I've got my sombrero on.
Oh, yeah.
And I look $1 million, I've got this. I've still got the sombrero, by the way. And we go to this club, and as I walk in, he's not coming in, in Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
I said, no, he's not coming in. He beat Nápoles, he's not coming in. Well, let me in.
Bloody yeah.
Would not let us in. So you're fighting probably one of the all-time greats like I did.
Yeah.
Canelo. I mean, I've met him a few times. But how do you feel? How you prepared yourself for it, and how you've been training?
Yeah, I mean, I've met him a couple of times now myself. Obviously, before the Billy Joe fight, I met him, but that was more with a fanboy cap on as such.
Yeah.
And listen, it's done great things in the sport, but now I'm looking at him as a rival. It's completely different.
Yeah, absolutely.
The respect is there, but I'm not going to be handshakes and selfies. Do you know what I mean? It's we're there to do a job, and it's go time. I feel like I didn't win a world title against Callum Smith when I feel like I should have got the decision, but everything for a reason, and I think in boxing especially, timing is massive.
Well, I mean, you're fighting for the Undisputed title, aren't you? Which is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, all them belts, all the
get the belts,
all the marbles.
Yeah.
The Ring Magazine, WBC, WBA, IBF, WBA.
Yeah. But I'd love to see you to win.
Yeah, be heavy, but we need to be a mantelpiece.
Yeah. But, the Undisputed champion of the world. What a honour that would be.
I've got a great team around me. Tony Sims, Dan Lawrence, Charlie Sims. I've got Kevin Mitchell around me in the gym most days. He'll be out there.
Fantastic, Kevin.
And it's just, what, we've had long journeys together, me and Kevin. So for me, he was one of the best British fighters not to become world champion. But
that's right.
Probably only down to his own ways and own errors. Do you know what I mean?
That's right.
it's great to learn from him.
I think you've got a very good chance.
No, thank you.
And there's no reason why you can't win.
No, sit, you're out there, no distractions. It's,
and we can
full
go
steam
together
ahead.
then, can't we?
That's
And
it.
say we're both champions from Mexico.
The two Johns in Mexico. Might even get a TV show out of it.
That's it. Yeah, the two Johns. Why not?
Yeah.